Introverts are actually better at being social than extroverts. And while that may sound crazy to you, let me explain why. An extrovert is always extroverted. They love doing it, and in society, it's kind of socially acceptable, especially in a social situation, for an extrovert to be an extrovert. But they can't turn it off. You ever been to a party with an extrovert where they're kind of like high energy and in your face, and you're like, man, this guy's really irritating me, like I just want to get away? That's the problem with extroverts. Now, there are calibrated extroverts that can tell when they're upsetting somebody and they're going to back off. But it is actually very hard for an extrovert not to be an extrovert. One of the main reasons for that is extroverts recharge around people. The more they talk about people, the more energy they get, the more they want to talk, and so on and so forth. Introverts are actually the exact opposite. Introverts recharge when they're on their own, but it is significantly easier for an introvert to be social and then switch off because our society favors those who are social. Every introvert has probably been forced to be social at some point in their life, and they know what it takes to pretend to be social. What's great about this is an extrovert is kind of like a shotgun. They're like firing off social in a whole bunch of different ways and not really having any good, meaningful interactions with anyone. As an introvert, you can find a couple of people who you really connect with and have meaningful, deep one-on-one conversations, the kind of conversations that introverts much prefer. What's great about this is if you're at a social event and you meet a woman that you find attractive, if you have anything in common, you can sit down and have a private conversation, just the two of you, and as an introvert, you're gonna do great. It's gonna be a lot easier than being the life and soul of the party, and yet you're still being sociable. The only problem is there is an amount of time before you start to burn out and start running out of energy. At this point, I recommend you use the introvert's secret weapon, which is taking a 5-minute break. If you hang out with me for any period of time, you will know that I am actually an introvert. I can fake being an extrovert very well because I've trained myself to do it. I can stand on stage, I can be loud and energetic, I can even hold a conversation with 20 people and be the most interesting person in the room for about half an hour. And then after that, I need to recharge. And I recharge alone, being a nerd, painting, or quietly thinking to myself or playing a video game. So what I will often do in a social situation is every couple of hours, duck out, spend 5 minutes on my own, recharge, rest my back, play a video game, and then I'll come back out and be social again. The ability to do that as an introvert allows me to have these private one-on-one conversations with people, pretend to be the life and soul of the party, still recharge my energy, and go at it again over and over again. What's great about this though is as an introvert, when I have those private one-on-one conversations, I'm actually having a much more meaningful and seductive conversation. I come across as having a real connection with somebody because I'm tapping into that introverted power to be relaxed and calm and really just chill in somebody's presence. When the woman recognizes that, it actually allows us to make a much deeper connection that the extrovert will typically struggle with. Given a chance of teaching a student, it's significantly easier for me to teach an introvert to pretend to be extroverted for short periods of time, and then they go into their natural introverted state in a private conversation where they can start generating attraction, and then if they need to recharge, they can even take that one person outside for a breath of fresh air, which removes them from everybody else in the party and allows them to really form a deep connection. With the extrovert, I have to continually tell them, stop screaming in people's faces. And it's a lot harder because that becomes so natural to them and they've never had to turn that off before. So ultimately, as an introvert, don't be afraid to take a break every so often to recharge. And remember that as an introvert, you are the one with the true superpower. It is significantly easier for you to get good at being social and dating than an extrovert. So lean into it, learn how to be sociable for a few minutes at a time when you need to speak to a big group, and then just isolate, talk to the person you want, and continue from there.
You can uncover how to be naturally attractive with what I share in my ACE formula. So many men make the mistake of running around approaching women, trying to convince them to get into a relationship or to sleep with them. But the real experts know that the key to an effortless and fulfilling dating life is to become the kind of person that women chase. Now, using the techniques that I reveal in my ACE formula, you'll become naturally attractive and be the kind of person that women want to pursue. The best part is my ACE formula is completely free. All you have to do is click the link that should be in the description below this video and enter your regular details to discover the secret of being naturally attractive.